What is up, you lovely lot? Welcome back to the channel. As promised in my last video, we've got my banknote haul from the collector's fair today. Quick disclaimer before this one, I'm not very nimble fingered at the moment. I've actually managed to injure this finger. You can see a bit of bruising there and a bit of swelling, and this side. So it's going to be a while till we get back to regular coin hunts, or at least a couple more days, but we're going to get back to it big style. But for today, we've got some banknotes, but you might have to bear with me. I might be a bit slower than usual. We're going to kick it off with this Irish £1 or £1. Paid £3 for this, which I think is probably about right. It's in circulated condition, but it's still pretty nice. And there we see Queen Mabe on this side, and then on the other side is really nice. And it's an old Irish manuscript. Very cool. Central Bank of Ireland, £1. Really liked that, hadn't seen it before, so had to grab it. £3, not too bad. The next few I think I might have overpaid a little for, or maybe they're about right. And we've got $500 million from the Federal Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, or the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. Ridiculous denomination during their hyperinflation. And this is from the 2008 series. And on the other side, we see some dairy farming and mining. And then we've got a slightly more modern series, the 2009 series. They started the currency again and tried to sort it out. And we have an AA numbered serial number on this one, which is pretty cool. $10. Country scene there. That rock may have some significance, I'm sure it does. And then we have a $20 as well. Again, an AA serial number. And there we see some sort of industrial plant. But pretty cool to pick these up. As I say, might have overpaid at £2, maybe worth £1 each or something. But nice to add some different ones of those. I do have quite a few of them now, different denominations. Need to check exactly what ones I have and need. Next up, we've got the South African Reserve Bank, 10 Rand. I just really liked the rhino on this, white rhino. And this is from 2009. You can tell by the Jill Marcus Governor signature. Not in the best condition, circulated. And there we see, it's a bit hidden, but there is a ram's head there, and then sheep down the bottom here. 10 Rand from South Africa, pretty cool. Now this one, I just really like this. It's awesome. Romanian 2000 lei. And it's not a paper note, of course, as you can see. It's such a cool design. Let's show this side first. And it's kind of a simplified version of the solar system. And this is to commemorate the solar eclipse in 1999. I'm sure most of you watching the channel will remember that. And I couldn't quite make out this design though. Is this the sun here? Because it makes it look like this is obviously the centre and could be the sun, but I don't think that quite works. Saturn's here, so what's this? Mercury, Venus, Earth, and then this is the moon? I'm not too sure. Let me know what you think. But a very cool note nonetheless. And on the other side we have the map of Romania with the Romanian flag colours. And then this section here is actually the best cities and towns to see the eclipse in, to get the best view. And that's the travel path of it. So a very, very cool note. Paid £1.50, sorry, £2.50, which might be a little bit too much actually, but I just wanted to pick up a few notes, expand the collection. Next up, we have a French note. This one, not in the best condition, bit rough. It's from 1999, right near the end of the franc, 50 francs of course, and was worth around £5 or so at the time in conversion of the currency. And we see famous aviator Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. See some of his routes that he flew. And he was also an author, and he was the author of The Little Prince, which is this chap down here. And in that story, I thought this was quite cool. A boa eats an elephant, and that's what that is there. And then we see him again on the other side in the plane. And again we see the little prince. That's the dog snoring. He doesn't fancy the banknotes so much. He's a bit of a coin guy. Now we've got 3 of these similar sort of notes. We have seen these on the channel before. And these are basically Second World War notes for liberated countries or countries where the Allies took over. And this is French from 1944 after France was liberated, and this would have replaced the notes that Germany was circulating at the time. 5 francs. Any of these without a price on were 50 pence. So that French one was 50 pence, as was that French one. Then we have an Italian 1 lira, which started being used when the Allies took over Sicily. Not the best condition on the reverse on this one, but a nice addition to the wartime notes collection. Very interesting. I just find them fascinating. And again we have 1 yen from the Allied occupation of Japan. Wasn't used across the whole of Japan, only I think in Okinawa. And eventually the dollar was introduced, but this was kind of a stopgap between the Japanese yen and the dollar. Again, not in the best condition, certainly that one, a few spots all over it, but still interesting to add to my collection, I think. Next up we have a Yugoslavian 500 Dinara, which in itself is nothing special, but look at the serial number on that. In the first 7,000 to be printed, I believe, AA00006937. That is a low serial number. So very happy with that. Again, 50 pence. And he had quite a few of these, and none of the others were this sort of serial number. Otherwise, I probably would have taken them all. The others were much higher, not even AA ones at all. So I was very pleased to see that when I was flicking through the different ones that he had. Awesome. Then we have one from Angola. 100 escudos. Of course, Portuguese influence in Angola, which is in Africa. And I really like this one. I thought this gentleman was winking. I thought it was quite intriguing, but looking it up, it's actually Portuguese poet Luiz Vaz da Camoes. And he actually lost an eye in a battle in Africa. So he's not winking, he's just only got the one eye. Quite an interesting note. Always cool to pick up these African notes, especially the slightly older ones. 1973, this one. Then we have one from Guinea Bissau, 50 pesos from 1990. Again, expanding on that African collection. Interesting imagery on the other side. Offerings to the gods, feeding the sick, making food or grinding ingredients and cooking food. Very cool. So 50p, about right on that one probably. Of course, on eBay, you'd probably pay a little bit more. You'd be lucky to get any notes for 50p really, because you've got to pay to get it posted to you. Then we have one from Venezuela, a little bit of a bend in this, but I think that will straighten out pretty nicely. Other than that, it looks uncirculated. You're right there, Snacks. I think he's having a bad dream. Bless him. So yeah, one from Venezuela, 10 bolivars. I believe named after this gentleman, Simon Bolivar, who was the liberator of Venezuela. Then we have Marshal Sucre, who was a big part of independence all across that part of the Americas. Had influence over Peru and other countries as well, which slipped my mind at the minute. And then on the other side, we have a monument on the site where independence was gained. Very cool note. But again, 50p, probably about right for something like that. Next up, we have 3 of these Belarusian rubles, 25, 50 and 100. And again, price probably about right at 50p on these, but I just think the animals are so cool with the moose, the bear and the bison. Series from 1992, I believe. Yeah, all 1992, and all the same on the other side, apart from slightly different colours. Nice, the two-toned ones though, the red and green, purple and the blue. Pretty cool. It's quite a long series. I think 7 or 8, 9 notes even, all below the 100 denomination are similar in style with different animals, and there's still a few we need to pick up, but while I could get these 3 for 50 pence each, why not? A couple more here, nice colourful ones. These are from Cambodia. I spotted these out straight away because I have a purple one similar. I believe that's the 100 rials. This is the 50 and the 500. But very colourful. Infrastructure on the reverse of both, some sort of bridge, or I think it was a sluice, it said when I looked it up. Then a bridge on this side, 2004 and 2002. And then we have a temple here on the orange one, and a statue. And then I believe this is Angkor Wat, which is a marvellous temple complex in Cambodia. From the 12th century it was initially built. So pretty cool. Carrying on in that sort of region, we have Myanmar, 20 kyats, 1994. And on this side we see a chintz, which is a lion, essentially, stylized lion. Very, very cool. And then on this side we have the elephant fountain, which is in the Yangon People's Park. Pretty awesome. Just a couple more to go, and this one is from Bhutan. Really, really like the design on this one. Very, very cool. You could tell what sort of part of the world it's from instantly. And on this side here we see it's 5 Ngultrum from the Royal Monetary Authority of Bhutan. And I think this is the Tak Sang Monastery. Very cool. And finishing us off, we have one from Laos. Quite a traditional sort of note from 1979. And it's 100 kip. Soldier guarding the storage tanks there. And again, infrastructure, nice bridge over the river. But there we go. Let me know your favourite of that lot. Hope you enjoyed those banknotes, and we'll be back to flicking through some coins a bit quicker when this hand heals up a little bit more.